fans, the NCAA, the University of Tampa, and
welcome to Pepin Stadium on the grounds of the University of Tampa. Alongside Chris Hockman, I'm Connor Moore, and Chris, we have a good game today between Eckerd and your Tampa Spartans here, women's soccer. And Chris, what do you look from both teams to see tonight?
Yeah, both teams coming in for what's going to be a big game here in terms of conference play. Obviously, the Spartans got off to a great start on Saturday with that 3-0 win. Eckerd themselves coming off a loss, though, losing to number 10 Barry in their conference opener. Something of a derby today, of course, with Eckerd based over the bridge in St. Pete. Should be a good one. The Eckerd record of 3-1-1 definitely looks interesting, but the Spartans proved on Saturday that they're going to be a real contender this year.
Yeah, it's definitely been a trend all season long for these Spartans. They've competed throughout, and we've seen them prevail several times, especially Elena Barr. She's played a pivotal role, especially inside the box, just finding ways to score, being dimensional, and getting it done in a multitude of fashions.
Yeah, Elena Barr has been really notable this year for the team. She's not starting today. She'll be coming off the bench making a cameo, but she's already got 2 goals and an assist in her freshman season. So she's done phenomenally well, and she'll have a big impact off the bench. Expect her to come in if things are tight late on and have that big impact that she's had. Big moment today as well for Alexa Sheridan as she plays her 50th collegiate game, her 7th of the season. And she's already got an assist on the year. She'll be hoping to celebrate the half century with a goal, which would be her 2nd in her collegiate career. So it's a very exciting day for Sheridan in what should be a really entertaining match. I think she's going to be a star. We saw Quinn Knapp have a really great game on Saturday, having a great start to her freshman season. She's done real well at transitioning the team from defense to attack, which is so crucial.
You mentioned Alexa Sheridan, Chris. Her and Lacey Nasello seem to be the 2 players that really set the tempo for the Spartans, both physically and mentally on the field, getting it done. They've been there before, and those are the players that the Spartans lean on. Maweko Morris, freshman sensation. She's already had a hat-trick this year. You mentioned Quinn Knapp, and then you get players like Libby Wiseman out there. Megan Bromwell has been phenomenal in the sweeper-keeper analogy role for the Spartans. So this will be a good one. On the other side, for the Tritons of Eckerd, Celine Brandt and Stephanie Linton leading the way, both with 6 points as we get ready for action here.
Yeah, Brandt played for the German youth team, so certainly, you don't walk into that team. It's a tough team. Of course, the German women have won plenty of big titles like their men have, and so she's definitely got pedigree, and we are underway.
Here we go. For the Spartans leading the way, it will be Maweko Morris passing onwards to Lauren McDonald, another freshman from Maryland. Here the Spartans go.
Morris, of course, coming off scoring a penalty on Saturday. The 2nd goal of the day to really get things going for the Spartans.
See Emily Cady center it for the Spartans, paving the way for Lacey Nasello, who misses just right.
This will be kind of the style we see from the Spartans, shifting it out wide, taking advantage of the space in the middle. On Saturday, we saw too much space allowed by Nova Southeastern, and Tampa just completely capitalized on all of that. If the Tritons have done their homework, they'll shut down that space, but the early signs are good for the Spartans.
Powerful goal kick by Casey Wynn, the junior from Fort Myers, Florida. And now the Tritons on the attack have an opportunity on the left side of the field.
And she's made 193 saves in her career, which is a much bigger number than I ever saved when I played in goals.
We see a clear here by the Spartans. One of those defenders we have seen, Allie Robinson, the 6-foot senior from Magnolia, Texas. She's been rock solid there as a fine line defenseman.
Yeah, she's done real well at the back, been a good start, and she's really useful coming forward for set pieces, corners, free kicks towards the latter part of the game. Having that height in the box has been really helpful.
See Quinn Knapp with a long throw in. Now Nastasia Asgadam, spin move there.
Asgadam's really used her strength well throughout her collegiate career. She's done well to hold people off use that presence of mind to make that spin move, like you were saying. It catches defense off guard. It allows her to get round somebody, open up space that's perhaps unexpected by the defense. So expect to see plenty of that in transition.
And now, Chris, it's been nice to see now in our 7th game of the season, Megan Bromwell has really taken action in the net. The first few games, she was very conservative and protective there. Now we're seeing her expand and come out more and be effective outside of the net.
Yeah, and I think that comes down to good communication. You know, a defense and a goalkeeper, they're only as good as their communication. And Bromwell's been doing a good job lately of really marshalling her defense. So she didn't have a ton to do on Saturday, but what she did well. And part of the reason she didn't have much to do was because she controlled her defense well.
See the Spartans with the stop there. And Chris, how good on the defensive line has Caitlin Burrows, the sophomore Tampa, Florida native. She's been phenomenal on that left wing.
Yeah, she's done real well. Again, one of those players that is able to bring the transition from defense to attack. And she's able to run up when in attack. So Tampa today nominally playing a 5-3-2. But what they'll really be doing is they'll play a 5-3-2 without the ball, and you'll see them play a 3-5-2 with the ball. And people like Burrows are going to be the ones that run forward on the wings. They'll come up and join the midfield.
As we're now 3 minutes into action, that's a good point. The Spartans are interchangeable. We've seen that. We've mentioned players who are yet to enter on the bench. They'll make an impact shortly as Emily Cady passes on to Alexa Sheridan. Cleared there by the Tritons.
And just a little disjointed from both teams here. We're only 4 minutes in, so it's to be expected, especially given we had a downpour here about an hour before kickoff when both teams were arriving. So conditions have changed very drastically suddenly.
Nastasia Asgadam lowering the shoulder there, delivering the punch for the Spartans. No call, play on as we're 4 minutes into this one. Throw in for the Tritons.
You're seeing most of the action in midfield as both teams kind of feel each other out in these opening stages. To be expected. These games matter now. You know, we're in conference play. You've got to win all these games, especially when you're playing at home. Throw just played over the head there, so Eckerd clear. Well cleared too, because they win the throw themselves, which will allow Eckerd a chance to clear the Tritons, of course, in the green and black, running from left to right on the screen. Spartans in the all-white, right to left.
Both teams getting a feel for one another here as the Tritons have momentum, but Alexa Sheridan chasing that one and sending it out of play.
Yeah, really nice through ball, though, trying to find Brand. That play you highlighted pre-game. She's already got 2 goals on the season. She's a big Bayern Munich fan. She played for FFC Frankfurt 2. FFC Frankfurt are a phenomenal women's team out in Germany, so getting on their reserve team is an impressive thing for such a young woman.
Here we go with the Spartans. Emily Cady now on the push by midfield, giving way to Nastasia Asgadam. Open there is Allie Robinson, middle of the field. What can the Spartans do?
And we're seeing that shape change like we were talking about earlier already as the team shifts up into midfield, which allowed Asgadam to grab that ball right there and play it out, because she was now in a forward position to play that ball as opposed to being back where they would have lost possession on that play.
Libby Wiseman and Maweko Morris trying to get on the same page with that one. They'll clear it back to Nastasia Asgadam, working back into Triton territory.
Yeah, I'm interested to see the effect the pitch will play, because it's no doubt a little heavy. So I'm sure we're going to see some balls sent forward that hang up a little bit, which might actually help some of the players on both sides. Big opportunity here, though, but unfortunately the Tritons' defense cuts that one out. And they might clear it away. They'll win the throw, in fact.
Taking a look at the all-time series, the Spartans have a 22-3-1 advantage here. So they have had the Tritons' number. We will see if that will factor in tonight. However, last season the Spartans won both meetings against Eckerd. 1-0 in both margins. Lacey Nasello scored the winning goal in overtime. That was in Sunshine State Conference play.
Yeah, you only need one. So, you know, we could be in for a tight one here based on the history between these two teams, but one goal's enough, you know? Of course, this time on Saturday we'd already had the opener. It was a quick start on Saturday, so I'm sure the Spartans would want that again. You know, you score early, it kind of relieves some pressure, gets things moving, and it can open up the doors for a second, which we saw on Saturday.
For sure, and at any level of any sport, people will say every game counts, but those divisional, those conference games, they have a little bit more meaning to them because, of course, you're familiar with your opponents here, and the Spartans, they know they have a 22-3-1 advantage on the Tritons, so they're going to look to defend their home field at Pepin Stadium. Here they go on the move. Let's see what they can do with Alexa Sheridan.
Yeah, you especially want to win this one because they're your closest rivals. You know, St. Pete's so close to Tampa. In a lot of ways, they're one big city separated by the bay, so you definitely want to have bragging rights over that team, over your local rivals. And I'm sure Eckert's the same. You know, they want to beat Tampa. It's the local team. Allowed it to bounce, though, which is pretty much always a mistake, letting a clearance bounce like that, but Tampa get away with it, get the ball clear, and they'll have time to regather.
Yeah, opportunities are brewing now as Megan Bromwell will take it. Chris, we saw there, Stephanie Linden was on a 1-on-3, the sophomore from Odessa, Florida, but she had some movement there entering the box. Spartans defense was sound, though, and they get the stop.
Yeah, Linden's going to be a star for them today. She was first team all-conference last year. Her sister also played college softball. She's been a big part of this team. She's established herself as a starter. She played 19 games last year in a freshman season, starting 18 of them as a freshman. Pretty impressive, and scored 7 goals. So she'll be one to watch today. She's going to be really dangerous.
The Tritons, coached by Danielle Fotopuelos, as the Spartans on the move now. Nastasia Asgadam had a lane, quickly narrowed by the Tritons. Quinn Knapp sends a ball into the box, still up for grabs. Eckerd there.
Yeah, Fotopuelos, a heck of a name to have behind your program. You know, World Cup winner with the United States national team, highest ever scorer in NCAA Division I history. She's a phenomenal player, and it's great to see somebody with that pedigree here in the Sunshine State Conference.
As a Spartan fan, Mawako Morris, one of those X factors, a 5'1" freshman. You look at her and you say, how could she have scored a hat trick this season? But she just finds ways to be in the right spot at the right time, and that is such a part of soccer because when you have very few opportunities, you got to make the most of them. Yeah,
beyond that, she's just a phenomenal, got a phenomenal brain for the game. She does really well at picking her chances. Her shooting accuracy for the season's over 50%. Whereas most people, you know, you'd be happy with 30% shooting accuracy. Hers is well over 50%. She's had 14 shots, 8 of them on goal. She padded that stat on Saturday by scoring a penalty, which doesn't even count as a shot. So she's doing all right on that goals to shots return ratio with her 4 goals already for the season.
So with Barr, we saw Lovisa Camel, the Swedish goalie at times this season. Nice freshman class. Quinn Knapp with the start today. Lauren McDonald. It has been a nice feature, and then Cameron Johnson as well has gotten action as the Spartans on the move with the ball. Header that time to no avail by Sheridan.
Yeah, Sheridan just getting under that header. You know, you really need to get on top of it to head it down. She just got under it, which led to the looping header. So it was an easy claim in the end for Casey Wynn. It's always good, like you're saying, to have a strong freshman class, especially in this team that only has a handful of seniors. You know, you want to have a team that's going to be strong for years. And in this freshman class, with a number of them starting tonight, you've really got a strong team here going forward for the rest of the next 4 years.
So both teams will huddle up as we have an injured Triton. We will keep you updated on the situation. The Eckerd Triton that is hurt is Tegan Payne, a defender, 5'10", sophomore from Seminole, Florida, as she hobbles off the field. Chris Hockman and Connor Moore here as we're now 10.5 minutes into the first half. Chris, what have you seen? 0-0 at the moment. Both teams have had a couple opportunities paving the way in transition, but nothing doing so far.
Yeah, been a little disjointed from both teams. Probably Eckerd have had the better of it, you'd say. They've had the better chances. No shots really yet from either team, but dangerous signs from both. They've both created chances, predominantly through the middle. So it'll be interesting to see if one of the teams breaks wide and tries to sort of suck in the space to get a ball across the face to somebody that's open. But yeah, both teams looking dangerous, but not really producing that final product that they need to get the goals. But they'll come. We've still got plenty of time, 34 minutes left in this half, and then a whole other half, potentially overtime as well, being college soccer. So definitely going to be opportunities in this one, I feel.
So we're about ready to resume action here. It'll be Casey Wynn, junior goalkeeper.
Substitution for Eckerd.
So, of course, Payne will be replaced by Alyssa Farmer, defender, freshman from Middleburg, Florida. Keep you posted on Payne and her injury and see if she re-enters at any point. As Maweko Morse now with some movement, sending a long ball here for Wiseman. Can she get to it?
Yeah, not the ball I would have liked there. You know, they've got Emily Cady running through the middle, and I think that would have been a better choice, especially as we saw there the waterlogged pitch, which has actually dried out a lot, but just a little bit of water holding up the ball, which made it easier for Eckerd to clear. Whereas I feel like a ball through the middle to Cady would have been more dangerous. She's already scored 3 goals this season, so this season's already her highest tally. I think she would have been in with a good shout there. Yeah,
Cady with 6 points on the season, as now the Tritons will have momentum.
Yeah, opportunity to clear there. Silly offside, really, to be in an offside position so quick off the throw-in. You know, the linesman's right there. It's an easy decision to make. And just, yeah, the Tritons really just sucked the Spartans into that one. Allows them to clear.
Yeah, Spartans with some self-inflicted wounds there, as now they'll have a chance to redeem themselves. Libby Wiseman giving way to... That is Rennie Taiwow who entered the game.
A very nice nutmeg there from Wiseman, opening up the space for the ball. Unfortunately, it doesn't pay off for the Spartans in the end, but they're good signs. Good signs for really both teams. I think have had good moments here as the Tritons get back on the ball and look to produce something here.
For sure. So far, this game has been played in the middle of the field. Neither team able to capitalize. It's a grudge match at the moment.
Yeah, and there's a lot of speed on both teams. Oh, offside there. Really great call from the assistant, because she's done that classic thing where you start onside and you come back. It's often missed because it doesn't really impact play much, but it's a bang-on call, and it's a well-worked offside trap from the Spartans there.
So here we go with the free kick as the Spartans send attackers into the box.
And they got 6 on the edge of the area, so no doubt what they're trying to do on that free kick, but it just doesn't come off on that occasion.
Came up a little bit short that time by Knapp.
Yeah, maybe just a little far out to try that play. I like the idea, though, and I'm sure we'll see more of it. We saw plenty of it on Saturday, those dropping free kicks, but on that occasion you had a wind that was holding the ball up. This occasion you don't really have it.
Saw Taylor Coaster set up Sheridan for a shot from long range. Didn't have too much of a chance. It's a long punt now by Wynn, cleared here by Nasello.
Yeah, in the end, real easy for Wynn to deal with on that one. Good opportunity here on the through ball, but Wynn comes off well. We've been talking about that sweeper-keeper role a lot tonight, and Wynn really showed us what it is there.
And we see Bromwell saying anything you can do, I can do better right there. Sweeper-keeper, 1-2, and now Bromwell analyzing downfield. What will she do?
Yeah, we've seen this sweeper-keeper development really taking the game by storm. We see, goalkeepers rushing out of their box, using their head, using their feet, to the point where, Manchester City ditched a good goalkeeper because they weren't happy with his footwork, which when I was a goalkeeper was not a skill you required, thankfully, because I did not have it.
Yeah, we're seeing that at any sport and at any level. The aggressor is what teams are looking for. You need to come out with your A game. You can't sit around and expect to win games just by being patient. You got to be the one dialing the punch when it comes down to it against your opponent. And the Spartans now on the move. Let's see what they can do. Slide tackle clean, so it'll be a throw-in for the Spartans with Knapp.
That was a real great challenge there from Lauren Newton, the midfielder out of Stewart, Florida. Just slid in perfectly, all ball. That's a great challenge.
Spartans will do it again with Knapp, a few feet closer, giving way to Asgadam.
Oh, it's another beautiful turn there from Asgadam. She's just able to suck the defender in, turn her around, opens up the space.
Yeah, keeping the defender head on a swivel right there. It is Morris now will send it, and we'll get a corner kick for the Spartans, so something might be in store here as we'll go with Sheridan with the corner kick momentarily.
Yeah, Triton's defender seemed a little disappointed at giving up the corner there, but to be honest, I think that was the right decision to make a play of that. It goes across the face. There's 3 Spartans running onto it. Anything can happen with that. I think the right decision is to kill the chance, make him take a set piece.
So the corner from the senior from Smithtown, New York, who is in her 50th collegiate game. The corner is on its way for the Spartans. And this will stay in play. It's a foot race. Spartans running hard here, and that is a great effort right there by the Spartans. Lacey Nacello.
Yeah, Nacello running hard with that knee brace on. Spartans rarely lose when she plays. She's got a pretty good record personally, so could be a good time for the Spartans tonight.
Yeah, when she is on the field, the official has their hands full because she's a physical presence who is a competitor, wants to win every game. She's been one of the better Spartans on the field.
Good battle down there too on that play, going out for a throw in the end. Nice shoulder-to-shoulder challenge. I thought Brommel was a little slow off a line there, but in the end it was the right decision. Defender had it covered.
See what we got coming up now.
Yeah, corner there for the Tritons. Tampa not happy with the call. It's one of those ones. It's a difficult call when you both go in for the ball.
For sure.
I know a lot of referees that would just pay it a goal kick because it's the less controversial decision, but yeah, probably the right call. She was the second one into the ball. If you're second into the ball, you're probably going to be the one that comes off last. So for mine, that's the right decision. A good opportunity here for Eckerd.
Yeah, here we go with the corner kick by the Tritons. It's en route. Spartans defense there for now.
Yeah, real good ball in. I would have liked maybe a little more height on it, but it went to feet, and that can be real dangerous when you have someone running in and able to attack the ball with their feet. Thought that might have been offside there. The assistant was ready to flag it, but didn't. I suspect because LaShanti Williams wasn't involved on the play enough for his standards.
Miscue by Eckerd. That throwing goes directly out of bounds. Will be a goal kick now for the Spartans. Quinn Knapp will set it on up. She'll take it, or maybe Bromwell will. Yeah,
Yeah, Knapp's been taking them lately. It's interesting, but she's got a really good boot, and so
powerful leg here.
Yeah, if you've got someone that has that kind of power, I say you have them take the goal kicks, even if it's not the goalkeeper.
Well, that one approaching midfield, a few headers there, and be a one-on-one won by Asgadam, and now the Spartans on the push. Here's Emily Cady.
Asgadam using his strength well there again.
Eckerd substitution. Re-entering the game, number 4, Tegan Payne.
So we see Tegan Payne coming back in. Apparently the injury is not too gruesome, so she'll replace Farmer, who came in for her earlier.
Yeah, I mean, it always looked like a slight knock. Just, you always want to be careful, of course, under NCAA rules. There's always a concussion check nowadays, which is great. And that allows her to come off and come back on, which normally you're not allowed to do. But because it was an injury, she's allowed to come back here in the first half. Good opportunity here on the counter now for the Tritons, though.
Yeah, we saw Lauren McDonald for the Spartans with a throw-in. Is now Kaylin Burrows. That final line for the Spartans defense there, and now they have the ensuing possession. Mawako Morris looking to do some damage.
Yeah, Burrows won that really well, stayed on her feet. And another great challenge. It's just been great defense. You know, if you're in for defensive battles, this is the game.
Yeah, defense is the name of the game. Turnover, and then, yeah, another turnover. So that's what we're seeing right now. Which team will start to tighten up and make some crisper passes?
Yeah, it's been a little frustrating. I'm sure both coaches are frustrated at the lack of passes that are being completed. You know, the pass completion rate is poor. Offside called on that one, but the defense has been stellar. You know, defenses are staying on their feet, winning those challenges, and when they go to ground, they're making a smart decision on when and how to go to ground, making a slide challenge, getting all ball, and not giving away many free kicks. In fact, like, all the free kicks we've seen today have all really been offsides.
So we're just south of 25 minutes. Quinn Knapp with the free ball. And yeah, Chris, we saw the Tritons on that possession that were offsides. That was the most life out of any opportunity thus far. So both teams starting to take more chances. Is now Morse looking with Katie and Sheridan helping her out.
Yeah, just needed a little more support on that one. I feel like, you know, the ball was always going to be hard to get to the far post, and so maybe a diagonal run to the near post might have worked out there. But good signs for Tampa. They'll be pleased. They're getting in dangerous places.
So the throw in for Eckerd.
Looks like we're about to see a substitution for Eckerd as well. They might have changed their mind on that sub. Yeah, no, referee tells them to get on with it. And the ball will be thrown in. Almost a heavy touch there, and the Spartans do well. They regather the ball. That's great work defensively.
Right idea by the Spartans.
Yeah, great work there from Libby Wiseman, working really hard to get that possession. Led the team in shooting last year, so getting herself into a good position for another shot, but instead opting to pass it. Probably the right move based on where she was. It would have been a difficult shot, especially with getting your foot under the ball when the pitch is waterlogged is never fun.
So the Spartans looking to improve to 2-0 in Sunshine State Conference play here at Pepin Stadium. For Chris Hockman, I'm Connor Moore. Thanks again for joining us here on this Wednesday night. This game has been entertaining nonetheless. We've been saying all along, defense is the name of the game right now. Neither team giving in.
Yeah, and you could take from that this game hasn't been entertaining, but it really has. The teams have been getting forward. It's been a lot of end-to-end stuff, but just the defense has been so strong from both teams, and that's been, you know, for me, I enjoy watching a good defense, and seeing teams get stuck in like that has been really, really entertaining. Like, they've been stopping these chances. There's been balls forward, as we see another one that's just played with too much power on it. But it's been good to watch despite that 0-0 scoreline, despite the lack of any real shots. There's been some entertaining, really good technical work from both teams.
So we have a Triton getting ready to sub in, and Chris, I agree. I've been very pleased, at least, with the officials letting the players play. It's been physical out there. We saw earlier today Cristiano Ronaldo had a red card, so officials kind of dictating the game, something you don't want to see. Let the players play and let the better team win. Don't give in and call a silly foul and give one team a monumental advantage.
Yeah, it's always nice to see the game flow. I think at this level we see things flow a lot more. We don't see the challenges flying in as much as we do in, say, the Champions League, like we saw this morning for Juve. Of course, Juve is a team that pride to themselves on defence, and so Ronaldo is expected to defend now.
Right.
Which in the past around Madrid he was not there to do. So.
No, not in the World Cup either. With Portugal, he was ready to score.
Yeah, that was his job there. But now in Juve, Italy is all about defence. You know, they won the World Cup in 2006 on a solid defence, and that's what Ronaldo is going to be expected to do. And in fact, even someone as great as Ronaldo has been stopped by a good defence, well-marshalled defence. He only scored his first goals in Italy last week.
So Quinn Knapp with another free kick just on the Spartans side of midfield. We will see a long kick. Asgadam there, and now Burrows taking charge. A floater there.
You can see the Spartans slightly changing that routine. You know, instead of putting all 6 right on the edge of the box, they're putting 3 on the edge and 3 further up.
Here come the Tritons, and this is someone to look out for. Stephanie Linden, we've been talking about her. She has the footwork and the skills. When she gets open space, she's deadly. Not that time, Spartans D holding up.
Yeah, she's really established herself as a starter for the team as well. She played for Tampa Bay United in her club soccer, so just from down the road in Odessa, she's well established here in Tampa, where she got her start playing soccer. We're about to see a change here for the Tritons. It looks like Laura Newton coming off, and I also see the aforementioned Linton.
Ben, we taking a look at the volleyball team. 11-1 on this season. They improved just recently in the rankings, 12th nationwide. They'll take on Emory Riddle October 2nd at the Bob Martinez Center. Please join us for that game. And soccer, they're starting to pick it up. Both the men and women played a intense, competitive, non-conference schedule early on. So some of those losses, they look bad on paper, but not really when you're considering the high level of play that you're running into.
Yeah, I mean, we take the women's team here, for example. They played several ranked teams and got a win against a ranked opponent. And you often only get to play these really, really high-level teams in your non-conference schedule, which isn't the case here for us in women's soccer, because we have a team like Barrier that's ranked to number 10. They might have actually gone up this week with their victory, and so you've got strong opponents to play, but you want to play the good teams in your pre-conference schedule because it gets you ready for when things get really serious in the conference tournament and hopefully the NCAA tournament.
And with us both being former goalies, I think there's that universal feeling. Anytime you enter a match with the other team heavily favored, you get that kind of feel where it's like, wow, if we win or if my team scores and I get a lead, like you're in a different element of the game rather than a game where it's 50-50. So for the Spartans, the sky is the limit now as the Tritons with the free ball here, played by Bromwell. 18:25 left in the first half.
Yeah, nice effort there from the Tritons. I really liked that they're getting forward quickly. They had 3 players running on into the box. It was just played a little heavy, but if they can work out the weight, which is always difficult the first half when you're the away team because you need to get used to the pitch. It's going to be different from what you train on. The weather's also had an impact on the pitch, and so they'll get that weight right, and that'll be a really dangerous ball as they go for it again. But it's cut out well there by the Spartans. I believe that was McDonald cutting that one out.
Yeah, neither team able to take the first score of the game. We're seeing defense on both sides playing the headlines.
Yeah, it's been a really strong game defensively. We see another challenge there, but she just lost track of the ball, did Rennie Taiwo.
Mawiko Morse, the attacker, swarming in on defense, so everybody giving an effort right now as 2 Spartans are preparing to enter. Fresh legs for the Tampa unit.
Yeah, now's a good time to make the change. You've got 17 minutes left in the half. If you can take some fresh legs, you can take charge of the game, get a goal before the break. Kind of changes things tactically.
Are you down to come for halftime and talk a little bit? Or for halftime?
So Spartans still on the ball. Ball played left for Alexa Sheridan, but it just runs out of space. There'll be a throw for the Tritons here. 17 minutes to play, first half. Still scoreless in what's been a tight and entertaining game.
Here we go with Nastasia Asgadam, middle of the field, giving way to Mawiko Morse.
Oh, it's a beautiful 1-2 football right there. Nice work. We'll see it again here. Opportunity to shoot, perhaps.
Here we go, Emily Katie. Oh, what a shot! Upper right corner, and then some. The exclamation point. Goal! 1-0 Tampa Spartans. Here we go, 16-26 officially in the first half, and the Spartans on the board. What a pass, though. Nastasia Asgadam, and even before that, Mawiko Morris getting the hockey assist. What a play by the Spartans.
Yeah, it's a really smart play, and I think what's frustrating from a Tritons perspective is they were warned that was going to be the exact play. We saw 2 one-touch exchanges between Asgadam and Morse, and that allowed the space pace, which allowed them to play through Katie. Scores her 4th goal of the season, 5th goal of her career. It's been a career year for Katie.
Have yourself a day. Emily Cady, the 5'2" junior from East Lake, Florida. The touch on that shot. That was an opportunity. If you tried to hit that, it could have easily sailed over the crossbar, but just enough to get over. The keeper wins elevated arms, and wow, that was perfectly placed there by Cady. Her 4th goal, as you mentioned, Chris, of the season.
Yeah, reminiscent of her goal on Saturday as well. That was really well placed, both hitting the upper 90, that top corner. I mean, as a goalkeeper, there's not really much that Wynn can do to that one. It just flies above her head.
If Wynn was maybe 6'5", she has a chance to make that save, but with that ball perfectly under the upper right portion of the crossbar, nothing you can do there. Just got to tip your cap.
Yeah, there's not much. You can't really, unless she's got the Inspector Gadget arms, she's, not much you can do. You can't really fault her for that. And it's just a good passage of passing. You see these triangles played by the Spartans, which opens up the space for the ball to Katie. And there might be another chance here for the Spartans, but they clear it away. That time, the Tritons are aware to what's happening with the one-touch passing.
Yeah, taking a look at some substitutions, we see Julia Detweiler had an opportunity there. Allie Robinson also back in. Here's Nastasia Asgad running the point, though. Just a little bit too much mustard there, but still in the field of play for the Spartans. And here we go. Asgad down once again. Ooh, and Elena Barr newly entered for the Spartans, along with Allie Robinson, we're seeing.
Yeah, both fell really favorably there for Barr. She's got a pedigree. She's the highest scorer in West Shore High School history out there in Melbourne, Florida. She's scored 2 goals already in her collegiate career, so she's definitely going to be dangerous up there. The Tritons couldn't sleep because of the change.
Comes in the 30th minute from number 7, Emily Cady. Assist to number 12.
Spartans have been good. We also see Erica Peterson out there for the Spartans, the sophomore. She adds some height, especially on those corner kicks. And then we see Allie Robinson, so you're seeing 2 6-footers out there for the Spartans who, hey, I mean, the height, you just can't match that if you're a smaller defender.
Yeah, I mean, it's always nice having some height there. I remember Josh Kennedy playing for the Socceroos in the 2006 World Cup, just well over 6 feet and just towering over the defense. It was a regular target man in the box, and we'll see the same here for these women. Getting forward, getting in the box, balls will be crossed in for their head.
One of those sensation freshmen, 2 goals already on the young season, so when you give her some open room, she can find ways to make plays, whether it be for herself or her teammates. And Spartans sporting a 1-0 lead right now.
Yeah, you always want those players that don't care whether theirs is the name on the score sheet. You want someone that's going to pass the ball around. We talked about Ronaldo. That's something he's been criticised for doing, but when you're as good as Ronaldo, you probably can do that, especially when you're playing for Portugal and that's your job, when you are the target man. And we've seen that change this year for him at Juve, where there are other players expecting him to pass it.
So here we go with the Spartans now, looking to build on their 1-0 lead. Opportunity for Julia Detweiler. It's a foot race right now, and it'll be a goal kick.
Yeah, that's a decision for the referee to make when you hear that ball bounce twice. But right decision for mine. Just give the goal kick away. No one's ever going to, I've only seen a goal off a goal kick once, maybe twice in my life, and I've been doing this for a long time. So give the goal kick. Nobody's really going to complain about it, and we move on. So cleared back in there by a win.
Entering the game, number 4, Ashley Loaiza.
So Ashley Loaiza, junior midi, Cooper City, Florida, American Heritage High School alum, into the game for the Spartans, as we're just south of 12 minutes left here in the first half. Tritons trying to answer in Spartan territory.
Yeah, she's been a regular off the bench this season for the Spartans. Transferred from Campbell University last season, so in his second season as a Spartan.
Allie Robinson is there for the Spartans. Prime-time defender. And she'll get it again as the Tritons were caught sound asleep. And here come Tampa now.
Yeah, Tampa just urging putting the ball out. I believe that is Gabriela Martinez down. I think that was 17 on her back.
Could be a hamstring issue. Saw her pull up, not trying to put much weight on that right leg.
Yeah, she definitely pulled up short after the after passing the ball. That's really what caused her to lose possession was the injury. So hopefully for her it's nothing serious. You never like to see somebody ruled out of a game because of an injury.
So we got some stoppage time here. 11:14 left in the first half. For Chris Hockman, I'm Connor Moore. We'll take a look at the upcoming schedule for the Spartans. Here we are, of course, September 19th. The Eckerd Tritons and the Tampa Spartans. Then the Spartans will go on the road to Palm Beach Atlantic September 22nd in West Palm Beach at 6 p.m. And they'll be back home a week from today. Florida National will challenge your Spartans here at 7 o'clock. Please join us. Then the Spartans will go to Florida Southern in Lakeland on the 29th at 7 before coming home October 3rd against Rollins. So Sunshine State Conference play for the Spartans coming up.
Yeah, got a lot of games in a quick time. Good news for Martinez. She's walking off, so that's always a promising sign when you can walk off and not needing any help too. She'll go through the checks. They'll sub someone in. Martinez, of course, played for the Mexico Under-17s at the 2014 World Cup. And did well for that team.
So to get your perspective, Chris, Megan Bromwell got her first shutout of the season the last time. As a keeper, what can you build off of that? Not for just the game, obviously, tonight, but for the remainder of the season to keep the idea and the momentum for your defense and that back line positive and moving forward.
Yeah, people talk a lot about strikers as confidence players, but I think goalkeepers are just as much. You know, I rarely kept a clean sheet to get confidence long enough to have much insight into how much it helps. But it certainly, you know, you can say to your defense, look, what we did last week worked. What we did on Saturday worked. We're able to communicate. Let's keep that communication going, because it's real easy as a goalkeeper to lose control of it when things aren't going well. You know, you lose that communication, you don't trust each other, and it falls apart, and that's what leads to goals. Goals are most often scored by a lack of communication between defense and goalkeeper, and we saw on Saturday the communication can really help things out, you know, and conversely we saw what happens when there's not communication there. There were missed clearances that led to the opportunities that led to the Tampa goals.
So we're seeing a new trio of Spartan attackers here. McDonald, Detweiler, and Peterson trying to get something going in the later half of the first 45-minute period of this ball game. Here we go with the Spartans on the push.
Yeah, it's an interesting trio because they're not traditionally forwards. A good opportunity here, though.
You have a corner kick for the Spartans, so we will see the height on display now with Peterson and Allie Robinson.
The trivia question is, who is the head coach of the University of Tampa women's soccer team? Be sure to tweet your answers to @SpartacusUT for your chance to win a prize.
Warm crowd on deck here Wednesday night. Sorry to fill in, and why not? 1-0. Spartans have the lead right here. See if they can add to it on the corner kick.
Yeah, real impressive crowd here for a night where we saw some storms. It's always good to see people come out and support the team. Obviously, with Eckerd being so close, we've also got some Eckerd fans, which is always good to see. It's always nice to see both teams getting support.
The beauty of sports right there. Get away from the real world, enjoy it. Two well-coached teams, two talented teams going head-to-head. And we're seeing that on display here at Pepin Stadium.
Yeah, there's not been a lot of chances, and that's been because of how good both these teams are. You know, they're well-marshaled, they're well-coached. You know, we've talked about Topoulos and her experience winning the World Cup and being the highest ever scorer in NCAA Division I history, but also in in Switolski. You've got a coach who has a lot of experience. This is her fourth season, I should say, and she's really taken the Spartans on to another level. Only the 5th coach in program history.
Yeah, it's something special. And Chris, it's funny. I love soccer, but basketball is one of those sports I've played a little bit longer, and I think the soccer players don't get the credit for how disciplined they are. It's a 1-0 game for a reason right now, because they do not let other teams capitalize. Just to call out some other sports, you see even football and basketball and any others, just teams putting up points at will and no defense being played at all. So it is nice to see in soccer 2 teams not going to give up any room on the field.
Yeah, I think soccer, more than any other sport, we see the power of defense and how important it is to actually stop your opponent from scoring. Yeah, we see it in basketball, and we see those great blocks, and we see great tackles in football. And I was at the Lightning game last night, and you see these great hits.
Yeah, there's something to talk about for sure. We've had the legend Dave Mishkin do a few broadcasts with us. He does the radio for the Lightning, and that is one team not to sleep on. They are very talented, and we saw them last year in the postseason put up a fabulous fight.
Yeah, it's been a great run for the Tampa Bay area sports-wise, apart from maybe one exception on the other side of the bridge. But like the Bucks are off to a 2-0
The Bucks
start.
will have ESPN Monday night. It'll be about an 8:30 kickoff here at Raymond James. The Buccaneers might be 3-0 on the heels of Ryan Fitzpatrick. Fitzmagic is alive and well here in Tampa, so we'll see if they can continue doing that. Right now we got the Spartans 1-0 right now over the Eckerd Tritons. 6 minutes 40 seconds to go. Nastasia Asgadam here in transition.
Yeah, good opportunity building up here for the Spartans. The last thing you'd want to do if you're either team is concede this close to the break. Yeah, great offside trap there from the Tritons. Just sneak forward slowly. It's not noticed, and it allows the Tritons to clear this ball, which is, pressure was building. That's a much-needed clearance and a good opportunity here to maybe build something. One last opportunity. It looks like, nominally playing a 4-4-2, but it looks like Eckerd may have shifted into more a 4-5-1 and put Cameron Westmoreland, the freshman from St. Petersburg, up front. That may be in part due to the injury for Martinez, who was playing in that spot. So we'll see how their shape kind of changes in the second half, especially if they stay 1-0 down. They're going to have to chase this game.
So here we go now for the Spartans. See what they can do on the attack. It's Taylor Coaster. Taking charge is Win. Give you a heads up, fans. 5.5 minutes left in the first half, but at intermission, please stay with us. We'll have Jonathan Sanchez joining us. He's been on the field watching the game. 1-0 for the Spartans. That's a booming punt there, going about 3/4 of the field by Win.
It's always great when you have a goalkeeper that can hit the ball that far, because you're allowed just such a quick transition from defense to attack, which is always a great thing to see. Good opportunity here now for the Spartans, though.
Yeah, Sheridan, can she capitalize? It's up in the air. Julia Detweiler giving it a chase with Peterson joining her.
Yeah, Detweiler did well there, put the pressure on the defense, which led to the half clearance.
Asgadam, a ball. Oh, saved by Casey Wynn.
Yeah, we'll say by Casey Wynn keeps the body behind it, so there's a little risk of it spilling in the net. She pads her stat. She'll probably hit 200 career saves today. She started the day on 193, so she's got to be over 195 by now.
Fancy footwork there by the Tritons as Megan Bromwell takes charge.
Yeah, beautiful little back heel there from Paula Astazarian from San Sebastian in Spain. She scored 29 goals and had 24 assists in one season at Eastern Florida State College.
Yeah, to have that ability, that's something to cherish. We see, particularly with the Spartans, Emily Cady, she scored the goal tonight for the Spartans, but the amount of bicycle kicks that she puts on in her performances, those are ones for the highlight reel nonetheless.
Yeah, if you score them, they are. If not, a little less so.
Get your hopes up slightly. Bromwell, will she let it go? Yeah, nope. She'll take it inside the box for a punt opportunity.
Yeah, we like to see her let it go. You're 1-0 up. There's 3 minutes to go in the half. Take some time off the clock.
Yeah, set up the offense. Why not? As that one will sail across midfield. Quinn Knapp. Here's Allie Robinson. Back to Knapp. Good ball across midfield. Now Casey Wynn will have it for the Tritons.
Yeah, just a little poorly timed on the run there for the Spartans. You know, the move came early, so the ball was released a little too late, which kind of allowed the Tritons to regather it, get the ball away like they did here. But in the end, it's going to come to nothing because the Spartans will regather.
Twisting punt there by Casey Wynn. McDonald was there, and it'll be a throw-in now for the Spartans. So sloppy play in their own territory for Eckerd there. Lauren McDonald now. 2 minutes, 45 seconds, giving way to Erica Peterson. Can the Spartans get going?
I think it's one of those things that the players get frustrated with. You know, you saw a little bit of frustration from DeSanto because she didn't play the ball. You know, and she probably would have if she knew she was going to give up a throw. I don't know what the solution is on how you communicate that as an officiating crew.
This will be another throw-in. Detweiler almost got it to be a corner kick that time, but
you can see the referee signaling specifically that it's a throw. Probably a foul throw there, to be honest. I don't know if that went behind her head, but you almost never see them call, except when my beloved Rangers play in the UEFA Cup final, which, you know, probably every student in this university is too young to remember the UEFA Cup existing. It's now the Europa League. Ball cleared away. But you don't see foul throws called often for a reason. They're rarely a big impact on the game, except apparently for the UEFA Cup final in 2006.
So Haley DeSanto, the freshman from Fort Myers, will come off the field for the Tritons. She will be replaced by Kendall Goodwin, another freshman from Omaha, Nebraska. So quite a different environment from Omaha, Nebraska to Tampa, Florida, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, the heat has to have been an adjustment from Nebraska for sure. She's a keen photographer. This is her 4th appearance in her freshman season. All of them have come off the bench in this sort of cameo.
Trying to add that spark for the Tritons, but the Spartans with 70 seconds left to work in the first half. They'll have a Quinn Knapp throw-in momentarily. Can they get one more to take a convincing 2-0 lead?
Yeah, I mean, if you can get that second right now, you tear up Danielle Fotopoulos' notes for the halftime talk, and yeah, it would be a great time to score. Conversely for Eckerd, you know, you score right before the break, you've got a team that's 1-0 up, you score now, and then Tampa really has to rethink things coming out from the sheds for the second half.
So here we go, back in action. About 35 seconds left. Eckerd now with ideas of tying this one up before the half.
Yeah, definitely throwing a lot more players forward with so little time left. There's not a ton of risk. Not leaving people back.
Here we go. 15 seconds for the Spartans. Here's Atlanta Barr in the box, setting it up. Here we go. Robinson. It was a good look for the Spartans.
9.
Yeah, not a great bit of play there from Haley Knowles. You know, Barr would have been offside, but Knowles keeps it on, leads to that late opportunity. In the end, it doesn't come to much. But
yeah, I thought we were going to see Atlanta Barr take a shot there. She had a quick 1 or 2 seconds where she could have, but she made a fine pass and selfless play there, not being afraid to set up her teammate for what could have been a better look than what she had. So we'll take a look. We got 15 minutes left until we start out. We will have Jonathan Sanchez with our halftime special. He's been on the field getting an analysis of the game, so we'll have him come up and join us and give his impressions of a 1-0 first half lead for the Spartans and what to expect here in the second half. Here's Jonathan.
Just talk about the first half a little bit. I'd say Emily Katie's goal. There's some stuff here you could talk a little bit about, but anything you want. You can talk even about like international soccer, what's going on, but anything relevant, I'd say. Yeah, do your thing.
All right, how's it going, everybody? So this is some halftime analysis. I think this has been a pretty even game, but Tampa has the advantage right now. 1 goal to 0. Yeah, it's been really tight. Tampa with the goal by number 7, Emily Katie. It was an excellent goal. It was one of those goals that you like to see in like real life. It was a beautiful pass by one of her teammates, and she got through, and she put that in the top corner where it's impossible for the keeper to reach. Yeah. Also, I've been impressed so far by the Spartans' defense. It's been incredible. It's also good to watch them defend, help out the keeper so it doesn't concede goals and stuff like that. Yeah, it's been a good game. What else do I say?
So yeah, half time here. 1-0 for the Spartans. Look, if you guys have any questions, we've got 13 minutes here. You can throw them my way. I'm at Chris H Sport on Twitter. I've got my phone out, so I'll see your questions. If you play in that trivia on Twitter, I'll give you the answer. That's your reward for putting up with mine on. Spell it for you. You gotta do that part. But we'll run over some halftime stats for you. It's 1-0, obviously. Shots, it's 1-6 in favor of the Spartans. Shots on goal, 1-5 in favor of the Spartans. 4 saves made by Casey Wynn, just the 1 by the Spartans keeper, Megan Brommel. 1 corner to 2. Spartans lead that one, and Eckerd have been caught offside 2 times to just the 1s for the Spartans. So it reflects kind of a domination from the Spartans. Not that the scoreboard reflects that. I'm a little surprised to see that there's been 5 shots by the Spartans. That number seemed high for me, personally. I don't recall seeing that many.
Yeah, you expect them to score some goals here, but it's just been 1 so far in the net.
Yeah, exactly. And, they've had the opportunity, so maybe we'll see more in the second half. I expect in the second half we'll see more chances coming out as Eckerd tries to chase the game. They're going to need to chase it, which is going to open up space for the Spartans to exploit.
Yeah, you can say Eckerd got really unlucky with those 2 injuries in the game as well. It changes a lot. The coach has to, bring 2 new players into the lineup. And so you had to make some new changes, tactics and everything like that in order for those players that came in to be able to play her play style.
Yeah, it changes your plans. Yeah, neither of those injuries have been serious, thankfully, but
yes,
it changes your lineup. You have your 11 in mind, and then you usually have, in the college coaches that I've spoken with, and there's been plenty of them. They've got their plans laid out, and they've got their subs laid out. They've got plans for when they want to sub and who they want to sub. A lot like basketball and hockey, you see the line changes, and so we see that in college soccer too. And when you have an injury that disrupts that, it kind of makes things hard. And we saw that a little bit with Eckerd having their flow interrupted.
Yeah.
But it's been a good game on the whole. Both teams playing really well. We've seen plenty of great players on the pitch here. So if you're here in Tampa, it's only halfway done. We've still got 45 minutes to go, potentially more if there's an Eckerd goal. So make your way out here. There's still a little bit of space. It's a fairly healthy crowd tonight, even as everybody's gone down to get some snacks But there's plenty of space for you. We'd love to see you out here.
Yeah, anything could happen in the second half. Eckerd might, pull a comeback, or Tampa scores any more goals. They have 5 shots on target, so maybe they can score more than 1.
Yeah, 5 shots on. It's been a good goalkeeping display from Casey Wynn. That brings her to 198 saves in her collegiate career. This is her 37th game, so she's done really well. Fun fact about Casey Wynn: she played football in high school.
Oh, that's interesting.
So, we see that every now and again. Goalkeepers often make good kickers in football. I think of one notable in the NFL, in Josh Lambo. And Josh Lambo played in the MLS for FC Dallas, and now plays in the NFL for the Los Angeles Chargers.
Yeah, I remember Josh Lambo in his story about being the goalkeeper for the FC Dallas and then making that transition to kicker for the NFL, in the NFL.
they not broadcasting right now? Like it should have been on for the whole half. Because it looks like it's on. But if you can... Jumping back in after some technical difficulties there. Got the scoreboard fixed for you. So, happy to have that. We'll see it 8:30 tonight. So half an hour from now we're about to see the first ever Campeones Cup between MLS champions Toronto FC and Liga MX champions Tigres. Should be a great game out there.
Yeah, it should be a great game. Yeah, we know that Toronto has a great star player in Sebastian Giovinco, and Tigres has former France international André-Pierre Gignac, who's been a threat in the league as well. And same thing with Giovinco. Toronto, I know that they're having a rough start to the season, being defending champions, and yeah, it's been hard for them. But they have great players in their team, a good coach as well, and it'll be an interesting game.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good one. No, it's an interesting concept. I'd like to see it take off. You mentioned Giovinco. He's received my MLS MVP vote in the media ballot for a few years in a row now. He's been an absolute star for them, and Gignac is a phenomenal player, done really well in Tigres. It looks like he's really found a home where he can excel.
Yeah, you can see Gignac, he's right. He's stepped to the Mexican culture. He considers himself now Mexican. Has been living there for about 4 years in the country of Mexico.
Yeah, if he wasn't already capped by France, I'm sure he'd be looking to get on that Mexican national team. Yeah. And of course, we got the FIFA awards coming up. They've announced the nominees. I'm still a little angry about one pretty notable snub in that award list, with Sam Kerr somehow not being nominated for Best Player, which is completely outrageous because she's undeniably the best player in the world. But on the men's side, you got Cristiano Ronaldo, Luka Modric, and Mohamed Salah nominated in the final 3, and then the men's in the women's list, you've got Ada Heidelberg, Svenja Marzoran, and Marta nominated. I don't know how on earth Marta ends up in that list over Sam Kerr, who plays in the same league as Marta and won the MVP in that league.
Yeah.
Which would suggest she's a better player. Anyway, it's just my own. It's Australia being snubbed again.
Yeah. No, we know Marta is an excellent player as well. She has a big history in the women's soccer. She is an incredible player, as we all know it. She's almost as the Ronaldinho.
I think she is. She's the women's equivalent of Ronaldinho, you know. And when the Brazilian men's team was failing in their home World Cup, people were getting Marta's name put on the back of their jersey instead of the men's players, which is great to see. There, you know, and she's, well, you know, one of the best players that we've ever seen, and she plays just up I-4 from us. So if you get a chance next season, if she's still playing, which she might not, get yourself out to an Orlando Pride game, check out Marta. You also get to see the actual best player in the world in Samantha Kerr when she comes down and plays for Sky Blue. You know, and in fact you might get a chance to see her play when she plays for Australia. The team that I'm already pronouncing as the 2019 World Champions.
Yeah, excellent.
Oh, okay. I switched it. Yeah, I put it up.
Oh, you already working?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Still gotta work. Alright. Sweet. It's right there. I know how to work it, but I just haven't touched it. Yeah. Yes, just talk to Tom about like working and like moving forward. Yeah, sweet. Yeah, just introduce yourself. Jim. This is Jonathan. He's a junior. I want to talk to you about this. Yeah.
We're just friends.
All right, so welcome back. Connor Moore alongside Chris Hockman. About 60 seconds or so from resuming play. 1-0 in favor of the Spartans. Getting ready here is Emily Katie goal via Nastasia Asgidam, and will of course give the hockey assist to Maweko Morris, who is of course in on that play. So Chris, what do you expect to see from both teams here in the second half?
Yeah, I expect to see Eckerd lift. You know, they've probably been below where they want to be. They only had one shot. It was on target, but they only had one shot in that first half. That's not good enough, you know. In these kind of games, you need to be producing more, and they just haven't. Part of that is due to the phenomenal work of the Spartans' defense, but they've got to break through. I think we're going to see them shift more forward. They started the first half in a 4-4-2. They'll certainly play at least a 4-4-2. I wouldn't be surprised if they switch to a 4-3-3 here in the second half. I'll see how right my prediction is as they start walking out on the field. Tampa, I expect to see more of the same. You know, I expect to see their defense stay solid, which has really been the foundation for this 1-0 lead that they have. They had 6 shots, 5 of them on target. It's been an impressive run here for the Spartans.
So the Tritons are first out of the huddle. The Spartans breaking way out as of now. So we get ready for action here. Spartans looking to improve to 3-2-2 on the season and 2-0 in the Sunshine State Conference play. Eckerd will have first possession. The Tritons are ready, the Spartans are ready, and we will resume this one. 45 minutes left till the finish line.
It's going to be an exciting second half. You expect Eckerd to come out. It looks like they have shifted to have more up front here. So get underway. cheeky little back heel to start the half for Stephanie Linton. Of course, under the old rules, you wouldn't have been allowed to do that. Good opportunity to start things off, though, for the Tritons. Great defense coming across there from Rennie Taiwo.
Yeah, Tegan Payne with a fine ball trying to hook up with LaShanti Williams, the freshman from Orlando, Florida, but the back line of the Spartans defense there that time to force the corner kick. It was McDonald.
Yeah, LaShanti Williams already scored her first goal of her collegiate career in her freshman season, so expected to be dangerous. Big opportunity here.
The southpaw with the corner, Paula Astia Zaran, that time, the junior from Spain.
Yeah, big fan of Real Sociedad, which is a team not many people have heard of, but that's the local team for her out there in San Sebastian, so makes sense. She'd be a Rowdies fan if she was born here.
Yeah, that's what's amazing about soccer. And everywhere you go in the world, there's some form of soccer existing. A great opportunity for the Tritons. They were deep in the Spartan territory that time in a one-on-one matchup. Spartans just prevail.
Yeah, I would have liked to see her take a touch there. You know, I think she had more time than she realized. And yeah, it would have closed down the angle, but it would have given her so much more time. Instead, she goes for the volley, gets underneath it. It was never going to hit. She really needed to get on top of that ball and hit it down. But another opportunity, a poor goal kick. It's the danger of how the Spartans take their goal kicks is it leaves everybody onside. And so when you have a situation like that, you know, everybody's on, so you can play a pass that opens things up.
Spartans swarming back on defense, trying to stop this Eckerd push. Here we go. Threading the needle, splitting defenders that time for the Tritons was Brandt. She's trying to get on the scoreboard. Still out there, and it'll be finally taken by Knapp for the Spartans.
That's what I wanted to see from Eckerd here to start the second half. I really wanted to see Eckerd go for it and really kick things off here in the second half.
So here we go with the Bromwell punt over midfield. It will be cleared by Eckerd. And now a throw-in for the Spartans. 42-15 left in regulation. The Tampa Spartans won. The Eckerd Tritons 0. Here we are. And we'll do it again a few feet further. And now across midfield, it will be McDonald for the Spartans.
This is better for the Spartans after a rough start to the half. Being able to get some possession, string it together, it's going to be good for them. But I put the curse on them there. As soon as I say that, they win. The Tritons win possession back.
Both teams giving it up to one another, but now the Spartans prevailing. Here we go. See what they can do. It's Allie Robinson and Libby Wiseman that time to no avail. But now they'll get it back for a throw-in.
That was a good idea out, looking for LaShanti Williams.
Quinn Knapp, strong throw to Katie. Trying to send way to Wiseman, and the Triton defender that time will just have to clear it. It was Siobhan Longmore.
Yeah, Siobhan Longmore, the Australian. Says Sam Kerr is her favourite player. Sam Kerr is also my favourite player, so solid choice.
There we go. Smart minds think alike.
Yeah.
So now opportunity for the Spartans. We got a corner kick, and it is going to be brought to you by Nastasia Azgadam as we now have 4, make it 5 Spartans looming around in the box, trying to present a dangerous attack. It's Libby Wiseman, Allie Robinson. Barr is there joining her, and the kick will not make it by Azgadam, and now we'll have a goal kick.
Yeah, it's the second one we've seen from Azgadam today going straight out. I don't know whether the solution is to have somebody else take the kicks for the evening. I think she's adjusting for a wind that hasn't been there. And it's frustrating from a coaching perspective because you lose out on seeing your team get a brilliant goal-scoring opportunity.
Yes, the Spartans are, as of right now, just doing enough, I'd say. They're sporting a 1-0 lead and playing competitive enough where you're not giving in but also not taking the chances. And now we have a rare miscue by the Spartans, which will lead to a Triton corner kick with 39:45 here, and those are just the plays you cannot have happen if you're the Spartans because they're self-inflicted.
Yeah, Linton at it again. You know, she's been dangerous for the Tritons all night. She keeps the pressure on, gets possession, creates an opportunity that's got a corner, and we see like 7 Tritons in the box right on top of the keeper. It's like a field hockey style play almost. They're coming out from the...
So Emily Cady, the goal scorer, coming soaring in, making the interception, and that is something the Spartans desperately needed. And now Megan Bromwell will calmly take this one.
Yeah, I don't really know what the idea was there from the Tritons because everybody was obviously offside. No one had got back in time from the free kick, and so making that play with such urgency, you know, Wynn came like bolting out of a box to make that play.
Here we go with the Tritons setting it up for LaShanti Williams on the left wing. She is met, though, by the Spartans' Nastasia Asgadam. Williams intercepted by Knapp and Asgadam.
It's been a good passage here for the Tritons. It's better. We see a Spartans player down, unfortunately. I can't make out who that is, but she's getting to her feet now.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's Asgadam. Looks to be a head injury. She's tending to it. Slow to her feet, and Coach Swoltalski will look to her bench. Who will step up now if you're the Spartans if Asgadam, one of your rock stars, is forced to miss any time?
Yeah, she's been a star for the Spartans throughout the early stages of this season. I'll just pause as the opportunity comes. But the losing somebody of that ability has been you know, a star for the team all season. She's used her ability really well. She's been great. Yeah,
Rennie Taiwow there presenting a body there as we see a dangerous cross go right across the face of Bromwell. Fortunately for the Spartans, nothing doing, but she's been one of the Spartans as we're now approaching 8 minutes into the second half, who has been a solid line defender, just getting it done and keeping the ball away from Bromwell and the Spartans' goal.
Yeah, Paula Astiazarian there running onto the ball, just couldn't get on the end of it. She hasn't seen much time this year, but she's been really dangerous today, and the Spartans might be better helped, might be better served keeping an eye on her, and I think the Tritons would probably do well to see more of her in this game, you know, in this game and in future games, because she's been great for them so far. She's only played 54 minutes coming into this one.
As the wind begins to pick up here at Pepin Stadium, definitely wanted a breeze. I don't know if I wanted it to this extent, so players will have to deal with that on the field. As the Spartans now working their way into Triton territory. It'll be Libby Wiseman. Here we go.
Yeah, it's going to make life hard for goalkeepers, you know, with the wind swirling like that. I'd like to see...
Ooh, Quinn Knapp put it on the money. 2 Spartans were home, just could not put the icing on the cake, and Casey Wynn will corral it for the Tritons now.
Yeah, I'd like to see the ball take advantage of this win, play the ball up to the goalkeeper, make them make a decision. Because the last thing you want as a goalkeeper is to run at goal, is to have the ball, you know, run, go for the ball, and then the wind picks it up and it goes right past you and you look foolish as it hits the back of the net.
So Kaylin Burrows now re-entering for the Spartans.
Entering the game, number 19, Lacey Nacello.
We also get Lacey Nacello Jr. replacing Loaiza, another junior.
Yeah, Nacello won the D2 Academic Achievement Award in 2017. So she's good on and off the field for Tampa. a lot of the students here in Tampa really excel in their studies as well. They take their student part of student athlete very seriously, which is always good.
Yeah, something to be proud of, especially when you look at a lot of colleges not getting that accreditation, getting players just coming and going, transferring, going professional. But the Spartans, not the case. They come here, they do well in their time both on the field, on the court, and in the classroom as well. So
the number of the UT Spartan player that you land on. Tonight's win of Spartan is sponsored by Walkabout. The Power Marketing's top 20 prize.
here we go now. Quinn Knapp, goal kick for the Spartans. Just been taking them all evening here, Chris.
Yeah, it's a hard goal kick to take because the wind is blowing right into her face. And that could really help the Tritons out here because they have the wind behind them. So when they send that ball long into the box, it could really catch out the Spartans' defense. You hear how powerful that wind is as it brushes up against our microphones. Yeah, it's wreaking havoc with my notes here as well, and we're seeing players really misjudging those clearances. We saw one a second ago where it went sideways instead of in the direction it was supposed to go. Opportunity here, but well marshaled there for being wrong.
Here we go with the Spartans, but you mentioned that, Chris, and it's remarkable. This time last year, Hurricane Irma was in the area, and we're keeping everyone affected by Hurricane Florence hitting the Carolinas. And here we go with the Spartans. It was Emily Cady trying to do it again, but keeping them in our thoughts is that is just a horrible misfortune going on by Mother Nature. So we're seeing it earlier today here in Tampa. There was intense thunderstorms and the wind now playing a factor on the field as we're just north of 33 minutes left in action. The quick sniper by Libby Wiseman trying to bend it around the right crossbar just misses it, and Casey Wynn now will take the goal kick.
Yeah, of course, this time last year we had to hit the area. I was actually in the process of moving to Tampa from Texas, so I just missed it. Actually, tomorrow I will have been living in Tampa for a year. So.
Wow, congratulations. I was actually in Destin, Florida by the Alabama border because the weather reports were so inconsistent. You didn't know Miami's getting hit, Tampa's getting hit, what's going on, where is the impact going to be at its worst. So I was not having any part of that. I got out of there. But here we go with the Spartans moving across midfield. It is Coaster and McDonald. Chasing to it is Cady. She won't get to it though.
Yeah, the wind really held that one up. Even along the ground, it just slowed way down and almost stayed in play for a minute there, which would have made life really dangerous for the Tritons. Luckily, they were still following the ball up, so you always want to make sure you follow those up regardless of how certain it looks like it's going out.
So Cady, Coaster trying to get there for the Spartans. And now what do the Tritons have in store? We'll see Williams with a burst of steam. She has a head start here on the left wing.
Yeah, it's been the play for much of the half, has been Williams trying to make something down the left. She's been lacking support a little bit, which I think, would be frustrating for her, because she's definitely good enough to create something. She tries to model her game on Kylian Mbappe, World Cup winner Kylian Mbappe now.
Yeah, taking a look, Tritons trying to figure out this Spartans defense, and got to give credit to the Spartans as Quinn Knapp with the interception. They've been playing beautifully, and Maweko Morse now, here we go. She has the skills. She has a will right now for the Spartans. Cady joining her behind. She'll give way. And now Libby Wiseman. Will we get a call? No. Play on. Robinson serving that just to the right of the net.
I like that. With the wind moving like it is, there's always a chance that could have been caught out. If you watch the corner flags and the flags on halfway, you can see them kind of blowing inconsistently. And so the wind's been changing and there's an opportunity there for a goal. I like that. Have a chance. Wayne Gretzky said you don't score off the shots you don't take.
Exactly. Got to be the aggressor. I think that's something we've been talking about all game. You're not going to win just by playing defense. You might get a tie. And if you're some teams, maybe that's what you're going for, but that's not the mentality of a championship team. And I think that's what every team strives for, is to be that winner, to hold the trophy at the end of the season. And both of these teams, they're showing that on display tonight.
Yeah, like we've said a lot tonight, you know, the scoreline might make you think that these teams haven't been attacking, but they really have. It's just been great defense from both sides for much of the game.
Morris, open space, slight hold. She will throw her hands up, questioning the no call, maybe slight push to no avail. And now for the Spartans, it'll be Quinn Knapp again. She has played the whole game so far, so the freshman taking charge as she sends that one just short of the box.
Yeah, Quinn Knapp's been really impressing me through the early stage of the season. As that opportunity goes awry, she's been really strong. She's been, you know, showing much more experience than a freshman defender. She's been phenomenal. She knows when to get forward, she knows when to get back, and we see her being involved yet again. It's been great to see. It's great to see so many strong freshmen in this side. And also for Eckerd, they have a number of great freshmen on their squad as well.
Yeah, both of these teams very deep, and that's what you like to see, because there's never a dull moment. Because if someone's tired, you can just come out, maybe re-enter 10-15 minutes, but there are so many people. You look at the Spartans bench in particular, not so much with the Eckerd bench, players constantly stretching. You never know when your number might be called and when someone might need you, especially, hopefully, bearing an injury or something like that. But that's an opportunity where, hey, you might have to come up and take an expanded role and make it happen.
Substitution.
Look, you've always got to be ready. You know, I've spoken to a number of players in my time, and they all say, you know, when you talk to them after they've come on, when there's been an injury, they say, you know, I've got to be ready. Yeah, I wasn't expecting to come on in the 10th minute, but that's when I had to come on. And you have to be ready, and that's kind of the difference you see in those teams that do well with the bench. You see these teams always preparing. You know, it's why goalkeepers warm up. You know, it looks silly to have a goalkeeper running around when they're probably not going to be needed, but you've got to be ready. We're going to hold up the play here. As we see, I think that's, is that No. Everything's okay though, so we'll carry on.
Yeah, not many calls have been made. We've seen by the assistants a few offsides at times, but for the most part, been a clean game. Both teams getting out playing.
Yeah, the foul count at halftime was 1-1. Tampa letting the ball bounce here, really dangerous. Never a fan of letting the ball bounce in your back line, honestly.
But I just love that fight by Kaylin Burrows, body to body, lowering a shoulder, hip to hip action right there, and she just wanted it more right then than the Triton attacker, and that was one of those, could have went either way. And you mentioned, Chris, if the Tritons got that, they had numbers and they were very close to the goal.
Yeah, great defense to see that. Honestly, probably could have been a foul. Might have been a little soft. It would go against how the referee's been calling it tonight. I don't have an issue with that. He's been consistent. He's been letting it flow. That's all we want. We always want the game
for sure. Same on both sides. Let them play. Neither team, and that's something we see in soccer at times. I hate to call him out, but Neymar just flops way too much, and we see that not at this collegiate level. These are gamers. They're competitive. They're athletes. They want to be out there, and they're trying to win the battle of the trenches, so to speak, and they want to be the more physical team.
Yeah, you know, I've had the pleasure of seeing a lot of high-level women's games. You know, I have a number of friends playing for national teams across the world, and yeah, it's always nice to see in the women's game that we don't see a lot of those theatrics that we see in the men's game from time to time. You know, there's no Neymar equivalent in the women's game. You know, nobody's making a font of Carly Lloyd flopping.
Oh my goodness, the Eckerd Tritons knocking on the door. Megan Brownwell elevating there, and we see it go off the top of the crossbar. Wow.
I believe that was from Sophia Kopko, the sophomore defender from
5'10" from
Pennsylvania.
Yeah, Phoenixville. And that was about as close gets without delivering what would have been tying goal. So the Spartans, they can take a deep breath and get a sigh of relief there as we have a push now. Ooh.
Yeah, that's never pleasant, that shot into your gut. But yeah, that's got to be a wake-up call for the Spartans. You know, they've been huffing and puffing all half. Have the Tritons.
Here comes Morse. Oh, what a pass! And a great look to Emily Cady, who's going for number 2 there.
It will be a corner though, so in the end it works out. Great ball across the face. Those are the balls I really like, where you run across, you cut it back, it's catching the defence out, they're scrambling, and you get the ball back. Great work, corner in the end, and we'll see how this one goes. Fewer players in the box. Tampa have tended this season to put a player right on the goalkeeper. They haven't today.
Ooh.
Perhaps they should have. If they had a player on the goalkeeper there, that probably would have been 2-0.
Yeah, we see Coach Woltowski is, oh my goodness, here comes Eckerd. Taiwo takes a body. Now Quinn Knapp will have plenty of time and space to get something going here for the Spartans, but seeing there as Coach Woltowski will have a player getting ready to sub back in.
Time to stand up and make some noise for a free University of Tampa t-shirt.
And now the crowd getting engaged, free t-shirt on the line, so Pepin Stadium getting rowdy maybe, with the Rowdies getting back into action. Good to see Tampa community buzzing, especially with soccer.
Yeah, it's great to see. Of course, we have a big game coming up here in the Tampa Bay area with the United States men's national team coming to town, taking on Colombia at Ray J. That should be a great game. I will almost certainly be attending that one.
Yeah, what a stadium, Raymond James. We had the college football championship 2 years ago. That was in January. We saw Deshaun Watson beat that stout Alabama defense. And as Chris mentioned, we have some premier soccer coming not too far away. So a lot of stuff going on in the sport environment, as a shot there by Williams, just right. Eckerd still off the board.
Yeah, that was a shot that really took advantage of the wind. You know, if you look down at halfway like I am, the wind is blowing really hard right at the Tampa goal, and that one nearly got blown in. I don't think that was her intent. I think her intent was crossed, but the wind picked it up. I like it. Do more of that, you're gonna get that goal.
Lisa Caprera, one of those players we've seen periodically for the Spartans. She's always seemed to give them a boost, that extra spark. The senior, New Providence, New Jersey high school graduate. She will try to help the Spartans widen their lead here. With the shot, go right to Win.
Yeah, she transferred in from Palm Beach Atlantic University last year. Didn't see any game time in her first season as a Spartan. Now seeing more and more game time, and she's been a good player off the bench for the Spartans.
The team chemistry on point for the Spartans. We're seeing a lot of different formations and rotations, so playing well with one another. Bromwell will let that one go and be a corner kick. So that is one of those plays that Eckerd just working a little bit harder in that 10-second sequence, so to speak, right there. Could have went either way, and now they'll get an opportunity as we have 22 minutes left in regulation.
Yeah, I was about to criticize Westmoreland there for not playing it wide. You know, she had Paula Astazarian out there on the left, but went herself forward. But in the end, actually a really good decision. She fought well, worked hard, wins the team a corner. We're going to see this really interesting corner kick play.
And the communication, sorry to cut you off, Chris, we see by Emily Cady. Let's go, let's get some pressure applied here. Is Bromwell!
And it's bundled in. That's why you put a player on the goalkeeper. Spartans didn't do it earlier. They learned the lesson here. Put a player on the goalkeeper. They might spill it. Bromwell probably caught out by the winds there, and it leads to a tap in, and it's 1-1.
So that goal will go to Eckerd. We are tied 1-1 officially with 21-28 left in regulation. And those are going to be one of those you look on tape, Chris, and just one of those that really shouldn't have happened, but it did. And now no time to hang your head. You got 21 plus minutes. Let's move on from it, and let's get this third goal of the game, the second for the Spartans hopefully here, and then we can move on from it.
Yeah, goal came about 68th minute, so time now for the Spartans. Like we said earlier, a good opportunity here. like I said earlier, you know, they needed to learn the lesson of the threat that Eckerd was doing. You know, they had a warning when it came off the bar,
This is number 12, Nastasia.
and they didn't really pick up that lesson, and it's cost them pretty severely here with an equalizer.
So Julia Detweiler will replace Nastasia Askedam. 20 minutes, 50 seconds left. And now the Spartans, who had been leading all game, are now tied back up with the Tritons, 1-1. So we will see some extended soccer right now as both teams looking to get that second goal.
Yeah, Triton's looking really dangerous right now, starting this second half. They've been the better side for the whole 25 minutes or so we've seen of play so far. That's a pretty blatant foul.
Yeah, motions maybe kicking in Libby Wiseman. Like to see it, though. Keep the intensity up. That is one maybe you're a little bit upset that you conceded that game-tying goal. Let's go now.
Scored in the 69th minute by number 23.
So the 69th minute, it will be Stephanie Linton, one of those gamers, her 4th goal of the season, being in the right place at the right time, because Bromwell dropped it for a split second, and Linton, she didn't think twice about it. She came right in and put the equalizer on the board.
Yeah, that's what being a forward's all about. You've got to be opportunistic. You know, I know that in my time as a goalkeeper, I gave up those goals, you know, and you kick yourself, but you get back on the horse and you try and stop it happening again. So far, so good for Bromwell, but, you know, it's perhaps a little unlucky because they didn't have this wind to deal with when, you know, they were attacking this goal, but that was the breaks. In the end, Linton, you know, got the goal, opportunistic goal, but that's a striker's job.
So knowing the Spartans, they're resilient, hard-working, they will not hang their head. They have 19 minutes now to take action, try to get second goal of the game for them. Look for new faces to step up. Emily Cady, she's been the storyline for the Spartans in terms of the offense, but other players, Quinn Knapp has had an exceptional game. We saw Elena Barr, a few opportunities, Detweiler, Coaster, Caprera. So a lot of options if you're Coach Fultowski for the Tampa attack.
Yeah, Katie scored her 5th goal earlier today. She's having the best season of her career, 4 goals already this season. It's going to be a corner. No, goal kick. That decision really intrigues me because if she didn't win the ball, she's committed a foul. And so I was certain the referee was going to play a corner on that one after he judged that she won the ball in the end. Because the corner, if I was the Tritons on that one, I'd be sort of asking that question. Well, if she didn't win the ball.
Right. Yeah. Rennie Tyler, though. So Cameron Westmoreland on a trip around the world. She spun several times, ultimately leading to the goal kick at the end of it. So here we go. Spartans wasting no time going the length of the field. There'll be a goal kick for Eckerd.
It's going to be a battle of the goalkeepers right now with these goal kicks going into ends. Wind maybe dying down a little bit, which will probably frustrate Bromwell a little bit because she got caught out by the wind on the goal. Of course, I say that you can hear it with the wind picking up again. It's more picking up here for us than down on the field. It seems to be dying a little bit down there.
Jump ball won by the Tritons and Westmoreland, and she turns it over right away.
Yeah, been frustrating a little bit a lot of the night for the Tritons. Been unable to really string together a lot of possession.
All right, Kaylin Burrows, here we go. Giving way to Julia Detweiler. Askedam, newly re-entered. She takes a shot right back at you. And now Morse in the lane. Here we go. Mweko Morse. Trying to thread the needle, but it'll be a goal kick.
Yeah, probably the wrong decision there from Morse. I would have liked to see her cut that ball back. You know, Askedam did her a big favour by getting the possession, playing the ball out wide. I would have liked to have seen her return the favour because they completely forgot Askedam was there. She's running in the box. She's wide open. It's a golden opportunity to get that lead back, but unfortunately, she just either doesn't see her or thinks she has a better angle on the shot and takes the shot that...
All of the Eckerd defenders swarming to Morris. Askedam, you mentioned she was trailing, and now the Spartans get it right back. It will be Detweiler. Give and go. Now Morris gets it again from Askedam. Shot is blocked. And now the Tritons on the move.
Yeah, again, some lazy defending there from Haley Knowles. keeps the player on side.
Tywell using that foot speed. Allie Robinson now crossing midfield.
That's going to go out for a throw.
So we got 16 minutes here. Spartans have shown at times that all-out push, sense of desperation might be awaiting us because the defense has been rock solid.
Yeah, they've been difficult to break down, Eckerd. They'll be even more difficult now that things are level at 1-1. They're going to be even more serious about this one. They're going to really shut up shop here and not let anything through, take it to extra time.
So here we go, Libby Wiseman. The cross, here we go! Oh, and the Spartans score! Libby Wiseman, Nastasia Asgadam. An unorthodox goal there, but hey, if they all count the same, the soft touch, the lunge by Casey Wynn, and the Spartan faithful on their feet. 15:22 officially left in the game, and the Spartans, they needed that one.
Yeah, definitely, like you said, unorthodox. It almost looked like she just mistouched it. I think she wanted to put more power on it and maybe slipped, got a little glancing touch to it, but with Wynn completely stranded, ended up working out. And that's why you play those balls. I talk a lot about playing the ball on the ground, back across the face, cutting it back. That's why you do it. It cuts the keeper out. The goalkeeper's trying to cut it off, gets stranded, and you're left with a tap-in. Works out that time for the Spartans.
So the Spartans get that goal. They needed it. 15 even left in the game. Coming back onto the field for the Tritons, Alyssa Farmer, the freshman defender from Middleburg, Florida. She'll take over for Paula Astia Zaran, the Spanish native. And now Bromwell showing her sweeper-keeper abilities coming forward.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting now to see how Eckerd adjusts. I think we're already seeing a bit of an adjustment. It looks like they're shifting back to a 4-3-3 formation-wise, so adding an extra attacker, taking the midfielder forward. That change was an attacking change. Estazarian, midfielder taken out for an attacking play.
Spartans goal! Scored by number 12, Nastasia
Asgadam getting her recognition. She's a gamer, though. It doesn't matter if she hits it 100 miles an hour or if she hits it 5 miles an hour, like we just saw in that last goal. Right off the right crossbar, the lunge by Casey Wynn, just not enough that time. And that one just snuck over the line. But hey, the Spartans now just need to play strong, solid defense a little bit more, but they're still attacking here, which is important because keeping it on this side of the field is pivotal.
Yeah, Asgadam, it's her first goal of the season. 14th goal as a Spartan. Well, of her career, I should say, because she... As a Spartan, she did transfer from UCF, but did not
Substitution
score
for
from
Eckerd.
UCF, so counts.
On the field, number 18.
Coming back in,
Brandt.
Celine Brandt for the Tritons for Lashanti Williams.
Yeah, Celine Brandt models her play on Mario Götze, so expect her to be getting forward, looking for goals, the German international.
Definitely expecting Brandt, who just entered. Linton already scored. Cam Westmoreland also has a goal in the season for Eckerd, so those players might start to take more chances right now as we're just south of 13 minutes left in this ball game. Thanks again for joining us. Chris Hockman, I'm Connor Moore. It has been an eventful game for sure as Kaylin Burrows and Julia Detweiler will take action for the Spartans crossing midfield.
Yeah, I think another one to look for. She's not on the pitch right now, but I'd expect Lashanti Williams to come back on, play a cameo. She's been dangerous for almost 80 minutes of the game. She's been a real attacking threat on that left wing, and I would really expect the all-Metro player from Orlando last year to really do well here and make some chances for the Tritons.
So here we go, jump ball midfield, won by the Spartans, and now Asgadam takes one erratically, quick hop, but now Eckerd Remy Taiwo with a strong defense will send way for a corner.
Yeah, great defense there from Taiwo. Stays on her feet, just gets in front of her defender, in front of her striker, I should say, cuts it out, puts it out for a corner. Always take the corner, you know. It's better than a goal.
Yeah, play it safe rather than sorry right now. Sporting a 1-goal advantage late in this one. Play smart soccer, should be okay. Although Eckerd not going down without a fight that time. Trying to replicate what the Spartans did, a soft touch that time by Kopko.
It does enough to win another corner. You know, when you get 1 goal down, 11 and a half minutes to play, you just want to keep possession at least. And that's not the way to do it.
Westmoreland, too much power on that shot attempt. That one sails all the way to the back fence, and now be Quinn Knapp, who we've seen on display as the catalyst goal kicker right now. She's kicked many over midfield, so this is a formula Coach Witalski is enjoying right now. It's working for the Spartans.
Yeah, it's been doing well. She's been definitely giving them the transition into attack as we see it here again. She perfectly picks out the player she's looking for.
Yeah, Robinson, Asgadam trying to go through a wall, and now it'll be a throw-in for Eckerd. But if you're the Spartans, using that clock, keeping it on Eckerd's side of the field, so 10 minutes, 30 seconds left, doing the job and playing the game they need to play at the moment.
Yeah, it's been real good from the Spartans, real good game management right now. Just, you know, taking some time out and keeping time off the clock.
Substitution for
Which
Eckerd.
is the worst enemy of Eckerd right now. They've played well, but they're probably going to run out of time right now. 10 minutes to play there, you only need 1 second to
Replaces
score.
number 6.
Taylor Fu comes in from Hong Kong.
Yeah, Farmer will be replaced. Taylor Fu, the sophomore midi.
Fans, we want to say congratulations to our Crown Plaza fan of the game.
Quinn Knapp coming on strong.
Crown Plaza offers business travelers
And we've seen it all game, Chris.
Service and amenity.
Players are just playing out there right now. There have not been many whistles, so it's been consistent on the officials' part. Give them credit for that, but right now getting a little bit chippy as this game is winding down.
Yeah, I mean, a tight game, less than 10 minutes to play. You're going to expect a game to get tight and get a little chippy, like you said. You know, I suspect you brought that up because that did look like a foul to me. But as long as the players aren't getting really upset about it, I don't have a big issue with this. Like you said, he's been consistent all game.
Quinn Knapp soaring in, walking the tightrope with the corner cross, and that had the right looks to it. It just was not in the field of play where any Spartans were, but that one sat in the box for an extended period of time.
Yeah, she used her speed. Coming up from defense, she already had a full head of steam up, so she was able to get around the defender, create the opportunity. It's been good.
Here we go, Rennie Taiwo and Kaylin Burrows now coming on strong for the Spartans.
Yeah, it's so crucial that you back up your teammates. You know, we saw that there. Taiwo was able to go forward, and then we saw Quinn Knapp backing her up, making that clearance. So far, so good. Possession for the Spartans. That's what they're going to want.
So Julia Detweiler trying to set up her teammate Wiseman there. And now Allie Robinson will come help for the Spartans, met at midfield.
Good work there from Siobhan Longmire. Just sucks in the defense.
Robinson went down awkwardly. Asgadam quick to help her up, but Robinson will take a split second, try to stretch out that leg. She landed on the right side of her leg awkwardly, and she'll be tended to by the Spartans training staff as we sit at 8 minutes, 5 seconds left in action.
Yeah, I think it was in part due to the turn from the Australian Siobhan Longmore. You know, she turned her, which led to perhaps getting stuck in the pitch. You know, I've seen this happen a lot, and it's, you know, the most common injury that we see is hamstring injuries. Not that I'm speculating at all on what happened, but, you know, I saw Kaya Simon when Australia played the United States at the Alamodome in San Antonio, Texas. She had a similar scenario where she was turned by her player, turned and ended up tearing her ACL. almost ruled her out of the World Cup. So hopefully that's not what happened here, but she's struggling. She's going to be helped off the field.
You're being carried off the field, so
hopefully just a twisted ankle or something like that. Hopefully nothing serious. Hopefully just a small injury that's going to be taken care of with ice. If we hear anything, we'll let you know. But unfortunately, carried off the field, I would say that's her done for the night.
Yeah, carried off the field, something obviously way too early to tell. Getting detailed into the injury, we'll find out more later, but something if you can't apply any pressure on that injured leg, something you certainly don't want to see. So we will keep Allie Robinson, who made a spectacular play, first of all, intercepting and gaining possession for the Spartans. Awkward landing we saw on that right side of her leg, right at midfield. So
I think a benefit here of Tampa is, playing on an actual grass pitch, whereas that incident for Simon was on a turf pitch. So that should increase the chances that she'll be fine. I have no idea. My degree's in theology, not in sports medicine, so I couldn't tell you.
And that's why they got the professionals out there. They know what they're doing in terms of that. So in the good hands of the medical team here on call will be Allie Robinson. Hopefully she's okay and is just a minor injury. But Quinn Knapp will get ready.
Entering the game, number 21.
To throw it in for the Spartans.
So we see LaShanti Williams coming in for Eckerd. That's who I was suspecting would be a dangerous player for the
substitution for Tampa.
For the Tritons.
On the field, number 10, Mawiko Morris.
Mawiko Morris, yeah. Taking over Robinson.
6, Allie Robinson.
So 7 minutes, 50 seconds here. Pepin Stadium, 2-1. Spartans over the Tritons. And what a play soaring in. Libby Wiseman. LaShanti Williams was there, but Libby Wiseman wanted that one more.
Yeah, and in part I think that's due to the Tritons trying to rush things. Okay, the clock says 7:30, and that seems like it's not much time. But that's plenty of time to score. You only need one, you get another 15 minutes.
Yeah, and that's just accreditation head coach Ernest Patalski. The fluent motion of the Spartans in times like this, just got to play fundamental soccer at this point, because you're not trying to attack and score late in the game. Right now you're just trying to keep the ball over here, take care of business, smooth, clean, crisp passes, and you should be okay.
Yeah, it's just a matter of keeping it simple. And so far that's what's been going on for the Spartans. So it's good. You keep it simple. You stop the challenges.
So yeah, Quinn Knapp now throwing in. 6 minutes, 40 seconds left. Chris Hockman, Connor Moore, thanks for joining us. Here at Pepin Stadium, Spartans trying to collect their third win of the season, and more importantly, their second in Sunshine State Conference play.
Yeah, I mean, these are the ones that really count, okay, the record shows 2-2-2, but the most important record is that conference record, and that shows 1-0-0. You win your conference, you get a berth in the NCAA tournament, you get a berth in the NCAA tournament, anything's possible.
So we got about 6 minutes left. Quinn Knapp, who else getting the throw in? She has been one of the real bright spots for the Spartans today, doing it on offense and defense. She has been everywhere for the Spartans. Another strong throw into Mawiko Morris, and now Mawiko Morris is in her wheelhouse. Open space, working to the sideline, sending it over. She is, and be taken by Wynn there.
Yeah, Wynn's done fairly well. She's reached her 200 save mark in her career, so it's a pretty impressive stat. Certainly a lot more saves than I made.
Yeah, I think the crowd is really enjoying and appreciating the defense and the fight in the Spartans tonight. They have been relentless, not giving in and not stopping at any point in the game. They have been very consistent.
Yeah, it's been great to see. Defense wins championships, and we saw a really strong defense here from the Spartans, and if they can keep that up, they'll be a real threat in conference play. Obviously there's going to be some big tests coming up. You think of Barry, ranked number 10 nationally. They're going to be tough, but if they can defend like this, they could take anyone on.
So here we go now. Under 5 minutes left to play. So if you're the Tritons and you're cheering them on, you're certainly hoping that they take some gambles, maybe push all of their players across midfield at an opportunity that they might approach.
Yeah, I'd like to see more players getting forward for the Tritons. You know, this is college soccer. There's no goal difference. Just go for it. You lose by 1, you lose by 7. It doesn't really matter.
You all count the same for sure.
Yeah, there's no goal difference. You're not going to be penalised for it. It's just a good opportunity though for the Tritons. They'll just let it go though. The Spartans, great defence again.
Yeah, why not? Get the goal kick, play it safe. 4 minutes, Quinn Knapp. She'll take another goal kick.
Yeah, she'll take a solid 30 seconds off the clock here, so big opportunity. Just to eat some time up, you know, under 4 minutes, so no need to rush things for the Spartans. But if I'm Eckerd, I want more forward than 2. You know, I want to see 3, 4, maybe even 5 players up there, really pushing for it. This is going to be another throw. It's just, you know, the passing isn't so well thought out. Like, yes, time is running out, but that doesn't mean you have to rush, because when you rush, you're going to lose possession, you're going to give up silly mistakes. But if you take your time, just wait. 3 minutes is plenty of time to score a goal.
So here we go. 3 minutes, 20 seconds left to play. Spartans in the driver's seat right now. Be Lauren McDonald with the free kick. She's ready. The Tritons are ready, and that one's over midfield. Nice play from Morris.
Yeah, Morris has really impressed me tonight. Just her skills on the ball have been phenomenal. Her positioning's been great. Hasn't always been taken up, but she's a really phenomenal player. She's doing really well.
So the Tritons with a throw in here, trying to propel a comeback run.
Yeah, I don't think the Spartans will be too bothered giving up that throw in. It's deep in the Tritons' half anyway. So.
Yeah, and they'll get it right back here at midfield. So.
Yeah, that's what you want. You know, you're ahead 2-1. You just want to keep the ball. You want to keep the ball down on that side of the field. They're going to do so with a free kick here. That'll take another 30 seconds at least off the clock here. There's no rush to take this.
Yeah, the clock is playing a factor if you're an Eckerd fan. Quickly dwindling down now. 2 minutes, 15 seconds left. That goal by Asgadam proving to be the difference maker. The assist via Libby Wiseman. Thing of beauty from the right wing. And now we'll have a call. And Remy Taiwo is not happy with the play by Becky Carricker, the freshman from Amherst, Massachusetts. And now the Spartans crowd getting into it as they are comfortably leading 2-1 with now less than 2 minutes.
Yeah, Rennie Taiwo just being told to take a bit of a breather, get away from the situation. Always a good idea. Now, I've seen too many silly yellow cards in my time where it's a player sticking around where they had no reason to.
So right now the Spartans just want to keep the ball here. If you keep the ball here for the next 90 seconds, remainder of the play, you'll be all right and move to 2-0 in Sunshine State Conference play. 3-2 and 2, yes, on the season.
Yeah, good opportunities here. But Eckerd just, yeah, they're just not really committing enough forward. As I say that, they have an opportunity. Bit of a miscommunication there at the back. We see for really the first time tonight as we hit the final minute.
Well, that's one of those plays. I think you want Bromwell to be more up front and go after that initially. She was indecisive, kind of stayed there, but the Spartans defenders doing a fine job protecting the net for the Spartans. We see Lacey Nasello applying that physicality. Again, 40 seconds left. The Spartans are playing until the final zeros on the clock, and that's something you've got to be proud of if you're a Spartan.
Yeah, the worst thing you can do as a goalkeeper in that situation is be hesitant. You've either got to go or stay, and you've got to make that decision. And I get the not going because you don't want to give away a penalty in a 2-1 game, but I think you're right. Should probably have gone on that one.
So now we have 15 seconds. So the Spartans with Quinn Knapp running out the clock. We have 10 seconds left of play, and the Spartans are on the verge of their third win of the season. And you can put it in the record books, folks. 2-1, the Spartans get the victory, and they improve to 23-3-1 in the all-time series matchup. Chris, what did you see? Let's start first with the Tritons. They got a goal on an errant play that time, but they still scored nonetheless. It was Stephanie Linton, so talk about that goal first.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for Mika Browell. She drops the ball in a high wind. Ended up being well claimed there from Linton. She did the right thing. That's what you want a striker to do. You want a striker to come up and get on the end of it, pass it home, get the goal. Made it 1-1, set up a really exciting finish for us.
Yeah, for sure. And from the Spartans side, Emily Cady, she has been amazing all year long. Just another day in the office for her, really. Getting the Spartans on the board with the first goal, and then she was joined by Nastasia Osgadown, the difference maker for the Spartans. So they come up in a big way, and they get Coach Switolski and their team the victory. So a lot of faces, a lot of different contributions across the board for both teams, but at the end of the day, it's the Spartans winning 2-1. Thanks again for joining us. For Chris Hockman, I'm Connor Moore. Have a great night, everybody, and we will see you next here for the Spartans, September 26th, 1 week from today, 7 p.m. against Florida National. Have a great night, y'all. Signing off.